control statements. See, at the beginning, we told that the main purpose of writing the program is to solve the problems. What is the main purpose of writing a program is to solve the problems. Suppose I have written my program like this, which contains a sequence of instructions, like this. So now, if all of my instructions are executed in sequential manner without skipping or repeating anything, then this particular type of program I cannot use it to solve the real world problems, because you take any real world problem, you will be making some decisions. Every real world problem will be involving some decisions. Based on decision only, your action is going to change. Suppose you are coming in a bike, you reach a signal point. So based on the signal, you will decide your action, either to stop or to leave or to move to the left or to move to the right. So that is, in every part of a real world problem, there is a decision making. Based on the decision, your action has to change. Similarly, the program also should contain such a mechanism that based on decision, you should change your action. Based on decision, you may be repeating. For example, you are mixing sugar in a cup of tea. How long you will mix? Until the sugar gets dissolved. Until it gets dissolved, you do the same repeated task of stirring it again and again. So similar way, there are some actions which must be repeated again until some condition is reached. Similarly, there are some actions in the real world which you should do based on some decision. Red light, I stop. Green, I proceed. Left or right, I take some decisions. So every real world problem will involve decision makings. So now my program also should contain such a mechanism, and that is achieved through control statements. So control statements, they transfer the control of the program. They transfer the control of the program based on conditions. Is that right? That is the main purpose of control statements. So they are almost similar to your C language. I'll not go into it. I'll give some questions on each and everything. You can solve it. If you are getting any issues, you can tell me. We'll see. So first one is decision control statement. Decision control statements. So what are it? You have simple if. So you know the syntax: if, condition, statements. Is that right? The same as your C language. Okay, if the condition is true, the statements within the if block will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements will not be executed. Since it is simple if, it does not deal with else part. It does not deal when the condition is false. So the next one is if else block. So if else block means if, condition, statement, else, statements. So now it deals with the false case also. So now if the condition is true, if it is true, these statements will be executed. If the condition is false, these statements will be executed. In simple if, we did not deal with the false case, but in if and else, we deal with the false case also. Okay, the third type is if, else if, ladder. If else if ladder. What does its purpose is? If you have more than two alternatives, or more than two conditions. Here the condition is true or false only. Here there may be more than two conditions. When you have more than two conditions, you should go for if else if ladder. If, condition, statements, then else if, again condition, statements. Like this, you can give any else if conditions, any number of conditions. The last will be else block. Here if is not required, it is optional, because the control will go to the last block only when all the conditions are false. So you not check it. So now one thing that you have to remember is at one point of time, any one of the if else block only will be executed. All of the if else block will not be executed. Is that right? So for example, you want to find the day in a week. You want to find the day in a week. I enter a number. I enter 1, 2, 3 like that. If I enter 1, your program should say it is Sunday. If I enter 2, the program should say it is Monday. So how many alternatives I have? I have 7 alternatives. If I just use your if else block, I cannot solve that problem. So what is that we'll do is we'll use a if else if ladder. Is that right? That is the purpose of if else if ladder. See, I'll give you the questions possible now, or I will send you the mail, the set of questions. You solve using these things. Little bit of work, if you do only, you can get practice to Java. So the fourth one is nested if else. Nested if else. Nested if else is also used for more than 2 alternatives. More than 2 alternatives. More than 2 alternatives. More than 2 alternatives, similar to your if else if ladder. Both are used the same only, but here nested means inside of if block or else block, again we have if else. Or if block or else block, again we'll have again an if else block. So now this if else block is inside of this if block. So that is why it is called nested block. Similarly, or else block the same block you can have here also. So nested if else means you will be having if else block inside of another if else block. So that is called nested if else. It is also used for solving the more than 2 alternative case. So the best example is, if you want to understand, you find the biggest of 3 numbers using if else if ladder. The same question, biggest of 3 numbers, you try with nested if else. You will understand what is the main difference, what is happening there. Biggest of 3 numbers, you try to find by using if else if ladder. The same biggest of 3 numbers, you try to solve by using nested if else. You will identify the difference. What is the difference between nested if else and if else if ladder? Is that right? So this is about decision control statements. Say they are, everything is similar to your C. There is not much in difference. Is that right? So the second one is case control statement. Case control statement, or we'll call it as switch statement. Switch statement. Switch statement. Is that right? So what is switch statement means? When the number of alternatives are more. When the number of alternatives are more number of alternatives irke, your if else if ladder becomes complex. If else if ladder, I don't know, it becomes very complex as the number of alternatives are more. The ladder goes like this. In order to solve this, we use the switch statement. We use switch statement whose syntax is like this: switch constant or expression. Switch constant or expression. Case constant 1, case constant 1, whatever statements you want, you can give here, and you can give a break statement. Next, case constant 2, case constant 2, statements, break. Like this, you can have any cases. And the last one is default. Default colon, statements you want, you can give anything. Break is optional, not needed. So this is the syntax of switch statement. This is the syntax of switch statement. Switch, small, everything is small. Here it can be a constant or expression. See, this constants can be integer constant or character constant. This constant can be integer constant or character constant, or it can be an expression. So now each and every case constant you will be having. How it is going to work is, it will find this constant, and the constant value it will compare with each and every case constant. Both the things match means this block will be executed. Since you are having break, the control will come out of the block. break statement will always bring the control out of the block. So now, first the constant is calculated. If it is an expression, the constant is taken, the constant value is compared with the first case constant, then with the second case constant. If it is matched, it will not go to the next one. If none of the case constants match, the default one will be executed. The default one will be executed. Is that right? So now there will be some questions which will be asked on switch statement. So we'll see a little demo of it, and afterwards we'll go for some of the questions which will be asked in switch statement. Okay, someone has asked, can we use length? Length is variable. We can use variable only. That length function cannot be used with array. That is length function, length method, which can be used with strings. It cannot be used with arrays. Is that fine? So now I read a value. Suppose I'm taking the same example, day of a week. Is that right? Extend. So switch I give, switch of day. Is that right? So case 1. Case 1, what is that I have to display? System dot out dot println Sunday. Right, like this. You can go with all the cases. I'll write 2-3 cases. This is case 3. So case 3 is Tuesday, and this is Monday. So like this, I can put all the cases. So this is case 4, 5, 6, and this is 7, default. I'll write, suppose I enter a number which is not in between 1 and 7. So what happens? I'll just say invalid. So this is Saturday. This is Friday. Thursday. Wednesday. Is that fine? So I'll close my switch block here. This is my switch block. So now I'll run it. So I'll enter number 1. I'll get Sunday. So similar way, I'll enter number 8. I'll get invalid. So this is how it works. Is that right? So what happens is, see, there is no rule that this should be at the beginning. I'll remove this. I'll put somewhere here. I'll put somewhere here. So now, will it work? Means it will work. There is no rule that your case constants must be in sorted order. It can be anywhere. Now, if I give 1, I'll get Sunday. So, but what happens is, first, when I entered 1 here, it will compare with this one. Here the value is 1. Here the value is 2. Both do not match. It goes to the next case. 1 3 no. 1 4 no. 1 5 no. 1 6 no. 1 7 no. 1 1. It matches. It displays this. After this, I'm having break. I'll be getting it. Is it fine? This is how your switch block is going to work. They are going to ask few questions on switch. We'll see that a little bit. Afterwards, we'll move to loop control statements. Switch off. Float A is equal to 1.1 F. Switch off A. So case 1.1. system dot out dot println I break default system dot out dot println invalid. So option A is I, option B is error, option C is invalid, option D is none. Okay, switch off A. So A is equal to 1.1 F. So case 1.1 system.out.println high break default invalid high error invalid none. Okay, what is the output for this? What is the output for this? Error. Okay, why? Yeah. Okay, so I was telling you that this should be a character constant or integer constant. It should be a character constant or integer constant. It cannot be a floating point value. You cannot have a floating point value. So that's why you will get an error. Okay, so the answer is error. It can be only integer. If it is an integer, no error. Is it fine? So similarly, so in short, I'm writing system.out.println as s.o.p. So option is I. Now A is an integer variable. I have given A is equal to 1, case 1, case 2, case 3. So now what is the output for this one? Is it only hi, or is it hi, hello, or hi, hello, hi, or it is an error? Option C. Yes. So why? Because see, you will not get any error even though we don't give break statement. So if you don't give break, what happens is the control will not come out of the block. The block in the control வந்து வெளியில வராது. The control will not come out of the block. So it continues as it is. Once the comparison is done, once the match is done, it works. It does not compare again. It does not compare. So here one match has happened. It goes on executing the statements until it gets a break statement. Break varla. Then it goes till the end of the switch block. So that is how your switch is going to work. So this is how. These are the some of the things which you should know about switch statement. Is that right? So the next one is loop control statements. Loop control statements. So what is the main purpose? To repeat a set of instructions. Till now, so while I started this topic, I told you two scenarios. One is based on condition you have to change your action. So another one is based on condition you have to repeatedly do some task. Then based on the condition you should stop it. So the second one, repetition of some set of instructions until some condition is satisfied. To repeatedly do some task, we use loop control statements. So you already know this. I'll not be telling much about it. While loop. Second is do while loop. do while loop. The third one is for loop. Okay, so this is called entry controlled loop statement. Syntax, everything is same as your C programming. So this is called exit controlled loop statement. Exit controlled loop statement. Why? Because here the condition will be at the end. Syntax pathing do while, here you will have the condition semicolon. Condition will be at the end. Exit, at the exit point you have the condition. If you see while, the condition is at the starting point. While, here you have the condition. Based on condition only you are going to do. So that is the difference between while and do while. While is a entry control loop statement. Do while is a exit control loop statement. For loop is same as while loop, but every loop will have different things. That is, one is initialization, another one is condition, another one is incrementation. You have these three things. All these three things will be given in a single line in for loop. Initialization, condition, incrementation will be giving in a single loop, single line. Here you will be giving a different position in the loop. So that is the main difference. So for loop is also an entry control loop statement similar to while. Only the syntactical difference is there between while and for loop. So that is about these things. So this you are already familiar. Okay, the last one is the last unconditional jump statements. Unconditional jump statements. So these are the statements which do not which transfer the control without checking the condition. Condition check panama, they are going to transfer. You already know one thing. What is that? Break. Break is a statement which transfers the control out of the block. Or block in the control veliya vandadum. So whatever block it is, if I write a break statement, my control comes out of the block. Is that right? Second is exit. Exit, it brings control out of the program. Brings control out of the program. It is not block. Your program is going to terminate if you use exit. One point that you have to remember is in Java you have to use system.exit. System.exit. Here you have to use some number. Here you have to use some integer number. What does this number indicate is what is the error condition due to which you want to terminate your program. Exit means a termination of your program. Program execution will be stopped completely. So now what is the reason for which you want to stop the control of the program? You have to specify here. If I specify 0, it indicates that I am going to stop the program in a normal way. Normal termination of the program indicates 0. 1, you have some error condition due to which you want to stop. 2, you have some other error condition due to which you want to stop the program. So here the integer value indicates the error condition due to which you want to stop the program. That is about exit. So break brings the control out of the program and exit brings the control out of the program itself. Sorry, break will bring the control out of the block. Exit brings the control out of the program. So third one is continue. Continue is opposite to break. So break it will break whenever one condition is happening. It will break. For example, okay, after seeing continue, we'll go with continue. Continue. What it will do is it will continue the task, skipping one case. So you will skip the case, but you will continue the process. For example, you see here, I want to display the multiples of 5. So what are the multiples of 5? 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 like this. So now first case is I want to display the multiples of 5. Stop when 25 multiple is encountered. Whenever I encounter a multiple 25, I should stop the process. I should not print rest of the things. I should stop printing the multiples of 25. In this case, we use break. So the second case is except 25. Except 25, I should get all the multiples of 25. 25 மட்டும் வரக்கூடாது, மீதி மல்டிபிள்ஸ் எல்லாமே வரணும். Then what we do is we use continue. We use continue. Is that right? Whenever you use continue, it will continue with the next value of that particular thing. It is going to continue that. So that is the difference between break and continue. Is that fine? So Java, you have one more thing called, you can use the labeled break. Labeled break. In the break, for loop, first for loop one irukku. I have one more for loop inside of it. So now when I give break here, the control will break from this loop, but it will be there inside of this loop. So you can put labels for loops L1, L2. You want to break L1, you can give L1. Now it will come out of the total loop. That is called labeled break statement. It is not there in your C and C++. Java supports a labeled break statement where you can come out of the loop by putting the labels to the loop. Outer loop ku neenga label pottute velila vandirala. So now this is about a continue break, and the last one is go to statement. Go to statement. Go to statement is used to transfer the control anywhere in the program. Transfer the control anywhere in the program, but it leads to lot of confusion. So you are advised not to use go to. Okay, because it increases the complexity of the program. Any program you are writing, 2 minutes will end it. It's over. Any program we are writing, if you are using go to, the complexity will be increased. Go to can be used in two ways. Go to label L1. Your L1 label can be here. This is called forward movement. Similarly, you can write some L2 here. Go to L2. This is backward. You are going up. Okay, you are moving down. You are going up. So whenever you are going up, whenever you are using this type of thing, you should be careful, such that your program should not enter into a infinite state.